spring training plus World Series moment where somebody had to call somebody out, somebody was mad at somebody else during the entire season.
And after the game, it was like Freddie, Mookie, Clayton, our first base coach, several of us grabbed him and we just said, hey, we just want to show you something.
Have producer lady who checks you in every time you come on the show. She has a theory, which I don't disagree with.
One year I got a chocolate giant male.
ドジャースと契約延長をしたマンシー選手が人気ポッドキャストに出演し、爆笑トークを繰り広げました。チーム内の雰囲気と大谷の態度についてや、大谷の隠れた素顔、また WBC で日本の仲間と対戦したらどうするか、驚きの大人のプレゼントなど盛りだくさんでした。略しました。
Talking about it for a moment, AJ and me were in some silly deferrals debate yesterday. I'm not going to bring that to this, but I do want to bring this part of the conversation up. Max, did you know that the Dodgers are actually not the only team that gives out deferrals? Almost every deal I've been reading this offseason involves other teams giving out deferrals. It's crazy. Dylan Cease got a chunk of deferrals. So it's maybe not as unfair in the landscape as we thought it was going to be, or as some people are told by the league. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, every team's always been allowed to do it. It's not like we cracked some secret code. Like I said, every team's always been allowed to do it, and that's how it's always been. It's it just, you have to, as a player, you have to want to agree to that. And then my understanding of how the deferrals work is the club has to be able to front that money, even though they're not paying it to you. They still have to be able to cover that money right away. And so that might be where it gets tricky with the clubs not wanting to do deferrals. But every team's always been allowed to do it.
I mean, I wasn't going to ask this until you said it, but did you ever see a time when Shohei was like, guys, can I borrow a few bucks because he was only making $2 million this year? Or was he totally fine, the same generous Shohei that he's always been?
I mean, Sho's never changed. Let's be honest, Sho's doing just fine with his off the field stuff. So, I think he's doing all right.
Okay, good. I'm glad you cleaned that up. But I'm going to go to your teammates because another team had something come up that I thought was kind of a know-nothingness to talk about, but it was arguments between players. Certain players were arguing about how somebody made a play or whatever. You guys won the World Series this year. Did you have any arguments at all during a 162-game plus spring training plus World Series moment where somebody had to call somebody out, somebody was mad at somebody else during the entire season?
One of the unique things with our roster is there's so much experience and, veterancy that, when people get called out, it's never an argument. It's always, hey, this is how we probably should have done this. This is how you need to do this. And there's so much respect for everyone inside the clubhouse that never turns into an argument. It's always a discussion. If someone came to me and was like, hey, you should do this, I would tell them, all right, this is what I was thinking. You're right. I probably should have done it this way, but this is what was going through my head at that moment. That's why I did it this way. And that's happened several times throughout the course, of all the seasons I've been there, where it just turns into discussions instead of, hey, what are you doing? You need to pull your head out of your butt. And, it's never been that way since I've been here with the Dodgers. And, there's been a lot of discussions that go on, but it's just grown men having conversations about what we need to do to be better at certain things. And, that's just the whole team holding each other accountable. And it's never escalated to the point of being, an argument that's caught on camera.
Max, is that from Dave? Is that from Doc? Or is that from guys like you and Freddie and Mookie and Clayton and guys like that? Because I've been on teams where guys, we won and you didn't always get along. There was arguments or discussions or whatever you want to call it. But is that a Dave thing? Or is that just you guys are all really good and you're like, you know what, we can have mature arguments?
I think it's an all the above thing. Doc has always had his finger on the pulse of the clubhouse. He knows exactly what's going on with people. He knows, who he can talk to certain ways, because everyone's different. There's some guys that need to have, they need to get chewed out a little bit. And there's other guys you need to coddle them a little bit. And, sometimes you have to go outside the norm, but Doc always knows who he can talk to and how he can approach certain ways and what he needs to do to get the most out of players. And then the other part of it is it's just everyone in the clubhouse knowing, if Freddie is coming up to you and saying something, you're not just going to immediately jump back at Freddie and, start getting mad at him, because it's like, okay, this guy's been around a long time. He knows what he's doing. If Mookie's saying that, I remember very clearly, within the first month of us having Shohei, there was a play where he was running the bases and he didn't necessarily get as good a secondary lead. And he wasn't able to score on a certain play. And after the game, it was like Freddie, Mookie, Clayton, our first base coach, several of us grabbed him and we just said, hey, we just want to show you something. This is what you did on your secondary, that you need to be a little bit better at this, and that would allow you to score. And, he was just like, oh, this is great. People are approaching me and wanting to talk to me about the, and that's how we've always done things here. And it's just, that's part of the culture that we've created.
By the way, your answer to the question is, you see over your one, I think it's this shoulder, see the trophy, and then you're going to have one over this shoulder. Yeah, that one. That's, oh, wow, you're bad. Oh, and then you're going to have a third one. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to stack them like a pyramid? You're going to take the two and then put the third one on top? I mean, you're bad.
We're still figuring that one out. That one's on the way. I don't know when it gets here, but yeah, we'll figure out what to do with it.
I love that.
I love it.
I love that. Is there any Muncie's just ready to start playing as a Dodger? But you do want another starting pitcher. And Tatsuya Amai has come out and said he would love to take the Dodgers down. When you hear that from somebody who is probably one of the best starting pitchers available, does that give you like a little bit of like a peacock strut where you're like, yeah, I hope he wants to. But then you also hope he signs with the Giants, right?
I mean, to be honest, it's no different than any other starting pitcher out there where they all want to take us down. So it's, I haven't looked into this guy at all. I don't know what his stuff is. And I'm sure he's amazing. As we've seen, a lot of the Japanese pitchers that have come over have been extremely good. You look at the guys on our staff. So I'm sure he's very, very talented and very good. I haven't looked into him, but again, I mean, every pitcher that's not on our team is saying the same thing. They want to take us down. They want to be the one to beat us. And, that's what makes it fun to go out there and play for the Dodgers. You're going to get everyone's best every single night.
Okay, so then I'll finish the headline. Max Muncy said when Amai signs with the Giants and he hits one in the Cove, he's going to tell him to go get the ball out of the water. True or false?
False.
Because you gotta like a little trash talking. I mean, come on, you guys are the two-time defending champs. Like everybody wants to take you down.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to tell him that, I'd probably have to learn, how to say it in another language.
We have Shohei, you have Sasaki, and you have Yamamoto. All three can tell you how to say it.
Yeah, that's also going to depend on if it's the 11:30 start and he's a little grumpy. So it's that's how it's all going to depend.
Okay, so then let's go to one of your teammates. Shohei announced he's playing for Japan in the WBC. If you are asked to play for USA and it comes down to you and the Mike Trout at bat against Shohei or Yamamoto or Sasaki, and you take them deep to win the game, are you talking trash as you run around the bases, or are you like, I am so sorry because we need you for the 162?
In that moment, I'm celebrating with the team, and however that celebration comes out, it's going to come out. I can't tell you how that would happen. I will tell you that if that did happen throughout the course of the entire season, I would just throw little jabs here and there. Just, hey, good morning. Remember when I took you deep to win? Yeah, I do too. And just walk away. You don't got to make it long. Just throw little jabs here and there. That's probably how I would do that one.
All right, we have producer lady who checks you in every time you come on the show. She has a theory, which I don't disagree with. Shohei enjoys a little bit of trolling, just a little bit. Like when he won his MVP, he kissed his dog and not his wife. When he said thank you to the fans, he made his like thank you fans make it look like some people on social media were like, is Shohei retiring? What's going on? Does he like little jokes and barbs more than the stoic exterior? Oh, and also he did the Lourdes Gurriel, like he kind of trolled him after he hit the home run to put you guys ahead in Arizona the one time earlier this year too.
Yeah, I will say Shohei's a very funny guy. So there might be a little bit of that in there. I'm not entirely sure. He is a very funny guy though, and that's something that a lot of people don't know about him. Is he's really funny. He just loves having fun. He loves to show up to the field, and he's got a great personality. He just likes to have fun. He loves to smile in the clubhouse, and I know a lot of people don't always see that out on the field, but that's who he is. He's just a great person that loves having fun.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more of it, even though we can't hear much when we watch him in the playoffs. I mean, that's why for years, it sucked to not have Shohei in the playoffs. Now the whole world gets to watch him, and I don't know, just his mannerisms, they're good. What do you got, AJ?
But before we let him go, have we asked him about Kirby Yates' tattoo? Were you there when he got it done? Were you there? Because he did it. I mean, he really went for it.
Yeah, I mean, we were all there.
You were like when the needle was in the rear and he was getting it done, you were all sitting there.
Yeah, I mean, it was so Mookie had the party at his house. And
Mookie had tell me Mookie had a tattoo artist show up at his house and do it in front of everybody, because that'd be way better than Freddie trying to do I don't want to do the worm, but I'm going to do the worm again.
There was a tattoo artist at Mookie's party. Yes.
Yes.
I don't know why I don't know if Mookie made sure there was a guy there, because these guys were talking about it when they were saying, when we won the World Series, we're going to get these tattoos. And, so I don't know if Mookie was making sure that they were there to be like, hey, you guys got to hold true on your promise. But yeah, they got it done, and we were all there to see it.
Epic. Did anyone else get tattoos, or they just had a guy there for Kirby?
There was more tattoos. Yes.
Nice. Okay. Some type of
Wait, do you have any tattoos? Do you have any?
No, I don't have any tattoos. I can't do needles, so I can't do that.
Trust me, I get random. But okay, I know we got to go. But have you ever gotten random stuff sent to you in the mail? Because I get like once a year, I'll get something random and I don't know who it's from. So it's happened to me the last 4 years where like somebody will just send me something and they don't sign it, and they're not like things you want to display. They're like the things you would get at Spencer Gifts, or people that remember Spencer Gifts. Like, I mean, remember the ball thing, Scott, I had? Like someone sent it to me. I didn't know who it was from. One year I got a chocolate giant male organ, right?
When he says ball thing too, he means like Justin Turner.
Yes, the Justin Turner thing that he had.
That just randomly came in the mail?
Like, yes, and I don't know who sent it to me. And then a couple years ago, I got like a chocolate one of those things. I don't know. No, and they don't sign it. And then I have to play the guessing game. Oh, who sent this to me? So then I'm texting people like, did you do this? And then when you finally figure it out, years later, they're like, you finally figured it out.
Yeah, it's a joke. That's the whole point of it. You don't need to know who it's from.
Exactly. You're getting random magic gifts. All right, Max, on that note, good to see you, dude. Enjoy wedding season, the holidays, the whole thing. Congrats on the option being picked.